Is this 29? So much stuff here. I got like so many activities.
Because you have so many knickknacks. I pulled mine off the stovetop for our Thanksgiving decoration because that's all I fucking have.
Just give it a quick little...
Things I buy for myself to decorate the house.
It is episode 29.
Yeah. No one buys anything for me.
Welcome to episode 29 of Close Encounters of the Funny Kind.
Have we had any close encounters? I mean, other than my ghost in the middle of the night?
I don't know.
Oh, the ghost followed me to work.
Oh my god. I can't with the ghost.
It did, though.
There's no ghost.
There is.
All right. Sam picked this puppy up at the grocery store.
6-pack.
So if they're terrible...
$13 for a 6-pack.
For future reference, we don't have to buy...
The shit better be good.
It's not worth $13. That's like...
I have a pimple, and you're going to see me touching it because I can't stand to have pimples on my food.
Okay.
I never was an acne kind of girl, so I don't like it.
Samuel Adams Winter Lager.
Limited edition. Limited release.
Please do not buy any more 6-packs before we've tasted them because there's a very high chance.
Can I just point out that I've had this bottle opener since I was a bartender? Many.
How many years ago was that?
Fuck you.
Wow.
Way before you.
Winter Lager.
God. I was a bar backy when I was 20.
How many years ago was that?
Fuck you.
That's not nice. We don't say that, Samantha.
Okay, like I told our oldest earlier, I'm not a nice person.
It's alright. It's a little heavy for me.
Better than Guinness.
It's not cold, though. I feel like this is...
It is cold. Alright. So we've had this debate for years, decades, right? So when you buy beer, it's always in a cardboard box. Like if you buy a 12-pack, 18-pack, 12-pack, whatever. 24.
I know where you're going.
He always says, like, he just brings the case of beer and throws it into the refrigerator, doesn't open it, doesn't take the beer out and, like, line it up perfectly like I do with all the labels. Like, literally, the labels are always facing. Anyways. Then he goes and grabs the beer, like, 2 hours later. He's like, this beer's not cold. Because you left it in the cardboard box. Do you know how hard it is for the cardboard box to get that cold when it's not in the freezer? Because I understand, like, freezer foods in cardboard boxes, but those cardboard boxes are super thin. They're, like, not fully a cardboard box. What our beer is being housed in is a full-on thickness of cardboard box. So when I take the time, when I come home from grocery shopping, and I unload the groceries and the beer, I take it out of the box, and I line them up, and guess what's cold in 2 hours? Your beer.
It must be some kind of magical... They should probably make the space shuttle out of cardboard boxes then. Or so, because it's apparently some amazing insulator.
They say if you're, like, stuck in a snowstorm or something, like, you should surround yourself with, like, newspapers and cardboard boxes because it'll keep you warm because the cold can't get in. I'm not a fucking lunatic.
Okay. That's so good. I gotta scoot up here. Oh.
You know it's true.
If you say so. It's just because it seems like anytime I buy beer, they've literally just put it in the cooler. I'll touch them and I'm like, these are all warm. And I'll try to find one in the back that's cold and they're always just room temperature.
So the guy the other day when I was at Publix, he was restocking it as I was trying to buy it.
Yeah.
I had to push him out of the way to get our beer.
Okay.
And he was like filling it up. He pushed everything into the back.
Yeah, that's
and I said, he goes, oh, do you need one? I was like, yeah, but I want a cold one. He's like, but aren't you going to take it home? It's like, I am, but I'm going to take it home and immediately drink one.
Yeah, like why do you even put them in a fridge? It's like it's open, so that's well now it's closed.
No, at Publix they're closed.
But
they have
the
doors.
whole point is if you're gonna refrigerate them, why aren't they cold?
So then,
Like what?
so that guy was, oh, let me get you a cold one. I said, oh, I'll test it if it's cold. He literally handed me a 24 pack, and I stuck my finger between the two beers, because like there's a handle. I stuck my finger between it. It wasn't cold. Yeah. And I said, that's not cold. He said, ma'am, this has been in here. I said, no, it hasn't. I need you to reach all the way to the back where you can't reach. And he finally reached all the way back there and got it.
And that
so
was
then
the
today, the guy was doing the same thing. And I said, just move out of the way. I'll get what I need. I ruined his display.
Oh, no.
He had them all perfectly stacked up. I moved them all over in front of the Bud Light stuff and pulled out the one I needed from the Miller Lite.
That is true.
I didn't care.
That is true.
They weren't cold.
That is tragic.
It's not tragic. Learn how to stock your beer, guys.
All right. Do you want me to dive into this? I know you're not excited about it.
It's fine. Go ahead.
So this is a little bit serious, but...
which topic?
The one you said you didn't want to talk about.
Oh, I'll just be over here. I would be on my phone, but it's occupied.
Well, I want you to show a little bit of interest. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself.
I don't like the interest in this one because I was a kid when this happened.
All right. So I was trying to find different stuff to talk about this week. And so I did a little research on the whole JonBenét Ramsey.
Isn't it the
murder.
Anniversary of it? Or
I feel like it's come up
because
more.
there's been a lot on it lately. A lot.
I don't know, and it's just been. There's a documentary we have to watch. Remember, I told you there's one on.
She looks like a doll. I can't watch it.
Well, it's not about that. It's about the Zodiac killer. I watched the first episode the other day. There's only 3 episodes. It's on Netflix. I forget what it's called.
I like the movie.
Something Zodiac, and they think this family basically thinks that their stepdad was the Zodiac killer. And I watched the first episode, and he's right in that area, and it's wild. Like I stopped it. I was like,
oh, was that what you asked me? Like, would you want to watch it?
Yeah,
like, yeah, but we haven't watched it.
Yeah, we can watch it tonight if you want. But I watched the first episode. I was like, Sam may want to watch this. I had to stop before I finish it all. So anyway, I looked into it a little bit because this happened when we were kids. Mm-hmm. So we were probably shielded from some of it, just because it's pretty morbid. But the theory, and I'm not going to speculate on who I think did it because the family sues everybody that says that they did it. So I'll kind of leave that up to interpretation because we have no money.
We don't have that kind of backing. So
we wouldn't have beer money if you sued us.
If you sued us, you can have the dogs.
Yeah. You could have both of them.
Most of our money's wrapped up in the big one.
So the biggest thing. All right. So I'll kind of explain. The general gist of it. Mm-hmm. Like the mom calls 911, says that she said she found a note as a ransom note, basically detailing, you're going to come bring us this amount of money, blah, 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 whatever. And then realizes the daughter's gone. Calls 911 and reports it. So the first thing, and I listened to some podcasts and Googled and read some different stuff on it. The first thing that came up, already with the yawns, just instantly.
I didn't.
Instantly.
I didn't.
All right. So listen to it, because this is interesting. The first thing that comes up when she hangs up the 911 call, because this is back in the day when it was a phone. This is in the 90s. It's not an iPhone.
It's the thing that connects into that right there in the wall that we hang a picture over.
Or a cordless, and she set it down. Mm-hmm. I listened to the 911 recording, and you can hear the 911. She stayed on the line after.
Accidentally.
Yeah, and the mother's just frantic. Oh, just please send somebody. Just please, oh, my daughter. You're just losing her shit. Okay, the second she hangs up the phone, I listened to it.
She hangs up?
Well, she thought she did. I couldn't hear it, but what most of the stuff I read, what people think that they say is, she hangs it up, puts the phone down, and says, "We've called the police, what now?" Just instantly goes back to even, keel. And it sounds like there's a child, which she had a brother, and he says, "What did you guys find?" And a man's voice that says, "We're not talking to you right now." That was the transcript. So
what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. So I listened to, and I found one clip on YouTube, and it was like, to me, it just sounded like silence. Of course, I was at work when I was listening to this, so I was like,
working hard.
I was like, I don't hear anything. So maybe if I listen to it like at home, or it's slowed down, or the volume's pumped up or something, maybe you can hear that. But I Googled it because I was like, I got to see, and like Reddit, and there's a bunch of different places where everyone's saying, yeah, that's what they can clearly hear be said. So it was kind of weird that she went from frantic to like, okay, we called the police, what now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think she was, I know the brother was 9 and she's 7 maybe, a little bit younger. So the ransom note, okay, here's the biggest thing. The ransom note was written on a notepad in the house that was in the kitchen. It wasn't the ransom person, the kidnapper's notepad. Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing is like people say, well, if you were going to write a ransom note, wouldn't you have already written it? You grab the little girl and leave it. Why would you break into the house and then take the time to sit there and you didn't even bring anything to write it with?
Yeah. It
was also the pen in the kitchen was what was used to write it.
But there's no fingerprints on it?
No. So, other than the family's, because it was theirs.
Because they're the ones who...
Yeah. So, it's very strange, and it's long. You know, it's lengthy, and there was also multiple drafts that I guess that they could tell where they had started and written. Like, originally they wrote, like...
Oh, like how you can see where it goes through the paper?
Yeah, like they had written Mr. And I can't remember if they found the original, like where they had crumpled it up or not, but it like originally said Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey, and then it had been crossed through, and then the final one said Mr. Ramsey. Like, so somebody sat there and like thought about this. They did like an FBI analysis on it, and they said,
"Are we about to get sued?"
No, because I'm just repeating. This is all factual information that's out there. There was an FBI analysis that said that they estimate that the time frame to write the drafts and the final was around 20 minutes. So you've kidnapped the girl, or you've broken into the house and you're just sitting down in the kitchen, just 20 minutes, just
or your family friend, and
just taking time. So that to me. And what a lot of people, that's the strangest thing about it, okay? There's no sign of forced entry. So they don't know how they got into the house. Yeah. All right. They did say that they had a Christmas party. So they said they don't know if somebody like hid. This is apparently a mansion too. This is a big house. Maybe not a mansion, but they were pretty well off.
The McAllisters type
basically,
of house.
Yeah. So somebody could have been in a closet or, whatever. But it seems strange. They couldn't identify how they got in. They couldn't find any prints or anything like that. So something else that's weird is like this happened at like, I want to say she called at like 5:50 or 6 o'clock in the morning or something, called 911. So she woke up. Apparently.
But there were no windows that were open, no doors were open, no nothing.
They had a basement, and one of the windows was broken, but the dad said he had broken into the house because he had locked himself out like months ago and just hadn't had it fixed yet.
So you just had a gaping hole in your window?
That's what I don't know.
I mean, in the state of Florida, you don't have a gaping hole because there's all kinds of shit that can come into that gaping hole.
I don't know if it was just cracked but like a cop noticed, well, there's a broken window down here, and he said, I broke that months ago. I just haven't had a chance to fix it. I locked myself out.
How do you break a window months ago and you don't fix it?
I don't know.
Maybe because you're living in Florida.
They did say there was something they said that they found a boot print outside of the house, I believe, from what I remember, and this is just like I didn't dive into this super deep, guys, but there was a boot print. I think that they said it was outside of that window, like a work boot.
But if you live up north, everything's a work boot.
Yeah. So I was like,
there we go. That's what I was trying to get out with that yawn. I'm sorry. That's why I kept opening my mouth. I was trying to get it to come out. There we go.
So this is weird too. and a lot of this stuff you can side on both sides of it. Say if you were a parent, I get why you wouldn't do this or why you would and stuff like that. So they called 911 at 6:00. Cops come. That was the other thing. The ransom letter said, "Do not call 911. We'll kill her." Blah blah blah. Whatever. So they instantly call 911. They show up, whatever, and then I guess while the police are there, they eventually called over their pastor, family, friends, they had all these people.
The Boohoo crew.
They just had all these people, and that was one of the podcasts I listened to. They said it was wild because it's this is a crime scene. There's people they said one of her friends was cleaning the kitchen while the police are there. They haven't dusted they're trying to get where's the letter? Susie's in there scrubbing down countertops, and I'm like, what? And that's wild. If that's
I think that's
true.
Equivalent to bringing a casserole.
And that's what they said. They said too when the cops got there. How 15 minutes later or whatever it was. They said he was fully dressed and she was fully dressed with her hair and makeup done. It's 6 a.m. I think this happened the day after Christmas also.
Well, you're wrecked. The last thing you want to do is put on hair and makeup.
So I was like, that's weird. That's what the podcast mentions. That's but she was like a beauty queen or something.
Oh, I get it. Girl. I get it if she probably was.
But she went up and he was in slacks and a dress shirt or something.
Tucked in with the tie.
Yeah, and it's typical 90s dad mode. But why wouldn't he just have a t-shirt and
just so we're clear, my
shorts
kids go
on
missing.
This
is what's happening.
And it's early. It's not like this happened late at night or something where they were already ready.
Yeah.
And he's a business guy. He was the CEO of some tech company or something. So they had money.
There you go.
But this is the weird thing. So all this is going on downstairs. The brother slept through all of this. They did not wake the brother up.
So say your sister's missing.
Right. So he's 9, okay? So he slept through all this. The stuff I couldn't find out when I was...
Jack, the oldest, sleeps through his alarm every morning.
But wouldn't you wake your kid up? They walked in and saw he was in there, and the police, briefly looked in. I'm like, if your daughter's missing, you would think you're going in, you're flipping on the lights.
Asking everybody questions.
To make sure she's not in here, or I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. If the youngest went missing, I would totally be in there where's your brother? Where's your, I would.
You're not just going to be like, all right, let's just let him. But also on the other side of it, it's going to scare the hell out of him. But it's going to scare the hell out of him at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock,
when he wakes up in 2 hours and realizes his sister's missing.
So it's very strange. There's so much stuff that went on that was weird, but they started the podcast I listened to, because I'm not claiming anything, but they mentioned that previously he had hit her in the head with a golf club and had left a scar on her face that was pretty bad, apparently. In the photos, I've seen over, I don't see anything. But so bad that the mother had looked into do we need to have it repaired, plastic surgery, whatever. And he also, which again, this is what I've read. I don't know any of this to be factual, but they said he was a very jealous brother and was in the habit of smearing feces on things she liked. Okay, so
I've never heard that.
Not trying to get sued, but that's psychopathic behavior. That's very odd for a 9-year-old.
Is he still alive?
Yeah. He's done some interviews. I looked some of that up. He's alive. He sues, and I think the mother died of cancer years ago, but the brother and I think the dad, they've sued anytime anybody says anything, they're right to trial. He sued somebody.
But why the fuck are we talking about this?
Well, because I'm not saying anything negative about him. I'm just stating facts, and we have a big viewing, so it's not going to matter. But I'm not implicating anybody.
Let's not tag that in any of our videos.
I'm just repeating. He's sued people.
I mean, my BCBG bag could be confiscated.
This is not a lie. They have sued people because they've implicated or stated that they've done it or whatever. I'm just stating facts and stuff that I've read or heard. So these are all rumors for entertainment purposes only. Okay, I'm just talking. Okay. Plus, we don't have any money.
Really don't. You want to empty your bank account? Go ahead. There's not much there.
So these are all just weird facts and stuff I've read and pulled off of whatever. So I haven't fact checked any of this. I mean, this is YouTube, Reddit, and podcast. Okay.
Can we talk about something that's a little lighthearted?
We're almost done. Oh
my God.
So
we're not done.
We're almost done. So there was just a lot of weird stuff. They eventually find the little girl. She's in the house. She's down in the basement. Okay. After hours. They've searched the house like 4 times. They finally find her somehow. So the weird thing is, I'm not going to get into all this, but there is DNA on the little girl. Okay. I know. I'm not getting into all that. So, but it doesn't matter. There's a list of suspects that like I read through and researched some of these people, and they took DNA samples from all these different. It doesn't match anybody. Doesn't match the family. Doesn't match, like, they had like a worker guy, like a repairman, and like they thought that maybe this guy that was I want to say there was like a sex offender down the street or something. Didn't match him. Didn't match like family, friends, all these people. None of it matched. So it's very strange. Like I went into it.
Was it actual semen specimen?
What I read just said it said a DNA sample. So I don't know. I don't know if it was semen or what, but.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just immediately went there. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's the twisted world we live in.
From what I read, and I don't want to get into this because it upsets you, so I don't want to dive into all this. Like, people can research it if you want. It upsets Sam, and it some of the stuff, like, anytime, like, I listen to, like, murder podcasts and stuff, if it's got kids in it, I struggle with it. I have to, a lot of times, like, I won't listen to them if it's got kids involved and stuff like that, because it just, as a parent, it upsets me. But they couldn't, that was the whole thing, but they also hung their case on, well, it doesn't match, so it's not that person, or it's not this person, it's not this person, it's not this person. So they just never found anybody. Because the whole rumor, and this is going back to, like, when I was a kid, I mean, you hear your parents talking, or different people, like, you know, in school and stuff. The assumption, and that was the big rumor, was that it was the family. It was either the parents did it, but a lot of people speculated that it was maybe an accident where something happened.
She, like, fell on the stairs.
The mom, yeah, the mom. That was the thing that they said. Like,
did they do an autopsy to know, like, was anything broken? Was anything?
She had a bruise
to the head.
Like, yeah, I think her skull was cracked, like, in the back or something. Like, she had been hit with something. And that was another piece of it. They found one of those big cop mag lights in the kitchen. And what they thought was maybe that was used. And that they were trying to say, well, it dives into all that. Like, well, whose flashlight with this? And he's like, well, that's ours. He's like, and then he said, well, I don't think that's ours. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's fishy about it. And I'm not going to go into all how her body, because it's going to upset you. But and what killed her ultimately. But because it's supposed to be a lighthearted podcast of the funny kind. But at the end of the day, I went into it thinking this speculation a lot of people have is that maybe the brother did it. Like, they just got in a fight, kids being kids, and like the whole, like, the golf, when they said the golf club thing, I'm like, oh, okay. Because I was thinking, well, maybe they got in a fight and he pushed her down the stairs or hit her with something, and they just tried to cover it up. But then they start talking about DNA and the boot print and some of that stuff, and it's like, I don't know then. Like, it just kind of left me like, I really don't know. I mean, it's something like I honestly would like to see. I think there's a documentary on, I know you don't want to watch it, but I would like, because the murder podcast and stuff interests me when they haven't solved them. Because I want to look at them and be like, well, who did it? Like, who could it have been? You know? And then it was definitely that guy. It was definitely her, you know, when you start watching them. Like, You know, but okay. So we'll watch the Zodiac one. I feel like you'll like that one.
Oh, the episodes? I like the Zodiac movie with
It was
Jake
good.
Gyllenhaal.
That was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
But the
fucking creepy.
There's a
movie.
lot of stuff where they link that guy to similar areas. So ultimately, if you want to do some more research, I don't know why. Just lately, it seems like that's come up a lot.
I think
and it's like the
I
whole.
don't have my phone to search, but I think it's the anniversary of it. Yes, it is the anniversary of it because they had a Christmas party. They had the Christmas trees.
Maybe it's 25 years or something.
That's what it is.
Know.
We're coming up on the anniversary.
Maybe
just like with the
Menendez
brothers.
So they're trying to appeal to let them out. Like they're up for appeal or something, or I don't know if it's parole or they're working on appealing it. And they said it could go to trial, and the judge could ultimately. One of the things I read said they could ultimately rule to just dismiss it and let them out, just because they've changed California laws regarding people that were abused or
Kim Kardashian
sexually assaulted and stuff like that, where if you defend yourself in that, like you're good to go. You can do whatever you want.
I think it was Kim Kardashian that helped push that.
So those guys may get out, which is wild because they've been in prison since the
80s?
No, late 90s. I think it happened in the early to mid 90s, but now it would be.
Well, they don't have any money.
Well, they'll write a book or start doing interviews. They'll be millionaires within 6 months. What
happens when you walk out of prison? Where do you go? They put them in halfway houses, don't they? Even when you get out innocent, don't they put them in halfway houses?
If you're acquitted like that, no. Parole is different. Streets? Yeah, sweetie, they'll be millionaires in 15 minutes. Like, if they're getting out, they will literally have an agent pick them up, and they'll be like, find out who the highest bidder is for our interview, and we're also going to write a book. Like, those people, they'll get an advance. Like, they're not going to be, they'll have more money than we will. They've been in prison for 30 years or whatever, 20 years. How many years? I don't know.
I'm 40.
Carry the two.
Fuck you, carry the two.
All right, so this leads into more lighthearted stuff than that.
This is what I was interested in. I thought we were going to leave with this and then go on.
Well, I like to end on a positive note. I don't want to end on the murdery kid note. That's no fun. So let's talk about this. This was kind of our question, which I pushed off to the back, but I did give Sam a heads up on this.
I'm still not prepared, but it's okay.
You're not prepared? Do you want to save it for next week?
No, go. It's fine.
We can just talk. We'll just talk about it. So this was kind of my question, but I knew this was going to turn into more than just a quick question because it's got multiple layers. In the event of a zombie apocalypse, okay, this is serious, guys.
Now we're talking.
Lock in. What are your first steps? Like, we're sitting here right now, phone blows up, says, emergency outbreak.
If I'm sitting right here right now with the two of them back there and us sitting right here, I'm good.
Yeah.
We're done. End of story.
Well, I mean,
we lock it down right here.
That doesn't secure the house.
No, but we're locked down right here. You know those freaking pallets I have out there? You can board up all these damn windows real quick.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. So, and that to me, that's my favorite part of all zombie movies is when it first happens.
That's my goal, though. When it happens, I'm with my group. I'm with my four. Sorry, mom and dad. And
you're not like at work.
And father-in-law. I love you guys, but my worst fear is shit pops off and I'm by myself. The kids are at school and he's at work.
All right. We'll say
this shit can't pop off at 2:30 on a Wednesday.
Okay. Well, if that happens, you're just driving to get
9:30 on a Saturday.
You're driving to get the kids, right?
Yeah,
I mean that's your first step. You get the kids.
If the cell phone service is still up, I tell you to go get the one that's closest to you, and I go get the one closest to me, and we meet here.
Yeah, that's the plan. All right. After that...
Oh, this is my dream. Like, this is...
It's your dream.
It's not my dream.
After that, we're clipping rounds into those AR mags back there. Just clipping them in. Wait. Everyone, come on, boys. Clip them in there.
That is if we can find the key to the safe.
I know where
remember the code to the safe.
I know the key.
And where the key is to the code of the safe if you can't remember the
I know all that. I got all that. Don't you worry.
Well,
right.
we went BB gun shooting the other day, and you can't remember shit.
I got into it. What are you talking about? I found the key.
Eventually we did.
Yeah. Well, but it took 10 minutes, but in the event of a zombie apocalypse, I mean, I got a gun.
You move a little faster?
Yeah, like I could figure it out.
I also have a machete. All right, so I used to have...
Now that we're done talking about murder stuff, let's talk about all our weaponry.
All right, so I used to have a black Jeep Wrangler, 4-door one, and I used to ride around with the top off all the time. But on the bars or on the back, I used to have a machete strapped to one and a...
like a hatchet?
Hatchet strapped to the other one. I'm ready to go.
I was like, Sam, what if somebody takes it while you're at Target or, you know?
If someone wants to steal a weapon off my car, just see what happens. I'm just saying. So a zombie apocalypse is like my ultimate like.
We should watch some zombie movies.
Let's go. Like I'm ready to bash in a brain, step my foot into your face. Like
it's alarming.
It's me and my children against the world, and we're going down.
Okay. So all right.
Oh wait, was that not the answer?
You're getting off topic here. I was looking for more of a deliberate approach because what you're saying is like. What are you doing first, like, 24 hours? Okay, it's out. You Google it. We pull it up on the news. Oh, there's a guy eating somebody. Crap. So, we just hunkering down here with the guns? What are we doing?
Yes.
Okay. All right, it's been a week. We're running out of food.
All right, so here's...
is anybody going out for supplies before that week is up?
So, here's the good thing. His dad, straight conspiracy guy. He has a few closets full of shit.
Of food? I guess. Yeah. But then we got to get to his house.
His parents believe in canned foods. We do not.
I was going to say, what are me and the children going to eat? Because I'm not eating green beans. Like,
oh, bear is kind of big.
When you shoot the dogs, that's true.
We're going to eat the dog.
A lot of dog meat. He's 90 pounds.
We have a lot of squirrels. I can eat squirrel. Tastes like chicken.
Just out back, like.
Tastes like chicken. A couple of our neighbors are pretty solid. I lean on our neighbors quite a bit.
You'd be surprised, man. People don't want to share in a zombie apocalypse.
But we have a couple of grocery stores. Literally, I can run to it and get back.
All right, so here's the deal. In the event of a zombie apocalypse, if you're getting supplies, you got to get them right away. You can't wait a week. There's nothing left. So it's literally like I'm taking the SUV and driving it through the front door of Publix with like guns and ARs and machetes.
So then in that case, I go pick up both kids and you go get supplies.
Okay, so we got to get a plan in place here because. Like, you can't you hunker down here and think, oh, we'll be okay.
But your supplies is blue cheese and Tostitos.
Well, that's all out the window. At this point, you need, like...
You don't eat canned food. Well, are you going to eat a Vienna sausage?
I need, like, Chef Boyardee. Like, you got, like, the Chef Boyardee
okay. Let's be honest. Will you eat a Vienna sausage?
Yeah. If I was hungry enough, yeah, I'd eat that.
I think that should be the next podcast. We should eat Vienna sausage.
Tuna packs or, like, you could, like... And the funny thing, I read some of this or saw something on the news about... We have a lot
of pasta.
It was during the hurricane, and they were talking about how are you going to cook all this? Okay, for pasta, you don't have to cook pasta. You can put pasta in just lukewarm water, and it'll soften up. Or you can eat it crunchy.
I eat it crunchy. I actually eat it out of the box. When I'm making it, I eat it out of the box.
If you're hungry enough, you just crunch on the pasta.
A propane grill will boil water.
But you don't have to. You don't even have to boil it. Like you could take packs of ramen noodles and you put them in a bowl for 5 minutes, and it absorbs the water. And you can just eat ramen noodles.
It's just cold.
Yeah. To survive, though, you could do that.
By the way, when you're starving, cold is perfect.
Yeah, like people are like, well, how are you gonna cook it? I'm like, what do you think? I'm like in here like sauteing like chicken and like marinara sauce. Like, no, you're just trying to eat carbs so you stay alive.
So then it's just straight vodka and whiskey after that because I can't drink warm beer.
Okay. Well, you could. I've drank warm beer before.
It's not good. It definitely gives you the shit.
The biggest thing. I can't remember if we've talked about this before, and it bugs me. Like, The Walking Dead is like I mean, at the newest ones, it's like 10 years, 15 years.
The newest ones.
It's so far into the future. The zombies would have rotted away. There would be...
They're already so rotten.
The flesh would have just... Even assuming that, like... I mean, this is all BS, but assuming that a zombie could control their muscles to move their legs and everything after they're dead, after a week or two, all of that flesh would have just fallen off. They'd just be bones.
Yeah.
Like the whole Walking Dead thing would have been over in 2 years. There would be. I mean, and if you ran into one, it would be somebody that just got bit 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like,
which is easy to kill if it's.
And they're in Georgia in the summer. Like every episode, everyone's so sweaty, and I'm like, the decomposition on a body would just. It would be so fast. There would be no zombies.
Yeah.
You'd just see a bunch of bones and gross mess everywhere. But they wouldn't. It wouldn't have lasted 10 years where there's like. You know, like toward the end, like I finished it, but you didn't. But there's some scenes where there's like thousands of them coming at them and stuff, and I'm like, it's been 15 years. Where are all these zombies still coming from? Like because they don't actually like the eating of the people doesn't like heal them. There's no like they just do it, you know. So I'm like. It's not like that, like, brings them, like, oh, okay, now I'm good. Now I can move my arm again. Like, no, they just, like, stuff would be, like, their arm would just fall off.
Regenerate them or anything.
Like, there would be nothing holding your shoulder socket in. It would just clip, oh, there goes my arm. I'm a zombie, but, you know. Okay. Well, that was all I had. Just, you know, murder mysteries and zombie apocalypse stuff, but.
So we know time change last week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I gotta say this. Can I do this real quick before I forget? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys know this, but something pretty crazy happened this week. I don't know. It was on, like, I was watching TV.
Fucking God.
I was watching.
Christ almighty.
I was watching TV, and, like, I flipped it on, and I was like, it was, what was it? Was it Tuesday night? I think it was Tuesday night, and I flipped on the news, and I was like,
you said we weren't going to talk about it.
I know, but I totally forgot.
You said we were not going to talk about it.
I know, I'm not going to.
You didn't want to lose followers.
I'm not going to talk about it, because I was like, oh my, the election. What did you have to say about your, you were going to say something, daylight savings time.
On top of the shit show. Anyways, daylight savings time happened after we recorded last week, and we talked about last week about how I wake up every single morning at 3 a.m. It doesn't matter how I go to bed. I wake up at 3 a.m. Well. So, time change happened Saturday night. Go to bed. No big deal. Go to bed like we do every night. Couple of beers.
Plus or minus, but yeah.
Fuck you.
See, that's the language I deal with around here.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
You want to put a recording on Alexa around?
No, I got a recording of it here. I can reference it back.
Whatever. Anyways, I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, well, time change. There's no way it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be like 4 or 5. I woke up at 2, which in normal time, before the time change, would have been 3. So now I wake up at 2 a.m. instead of 3 a.m. No joke. No joke. I have woken up every single morning at 2 a.m. instead of 3 a.m. And then I laid there contemplating what the fuck I did wrong in my previous life, who my ancestors are,
it's the witching hour.
How the fuck are you still messing with me at this time? Like, Can
I say something? All right, let me say something. I'm going to say this. This is my time, okay? Everyone doesn't like this time because it gets dark early. This is the time my body is accustomed to and that I like.
He goes to sleep and wakes up no problem now.
I function so much better on this time zone, and I think it's because it gets dark earlier. So you relax earlier and unwind earlier. So typically during the other time, like I can't, summer, whatever. Because they say, like, is this daylight savings?
Summer solstice is what you're referring to.
I prefer this time when we fall back. Because typically I stay up late, but I'm going to bed an hour earlier. And it's literally, and people say, oh, well, because your body hasn't adjusted. No. I typically go to sleep around 10. When we switch to the other time, I stay up till 11 or 11:30. I never adjust. My body never goes back to that time. Like in the summer, I just stay up an extra hour and a half.
So happy for you.
So this is great. I'm like, I got in bed the other night like 9:30. I was like, I'm tired. Let's just go ahead and call this in. This is it. I want us to stay on this time. Because also, it would make it so it's not so late. Like in the summer, it's like the sun's out at 9 o'clock at night. This is anarchy. Why is the sun out at 9 o'clock?
The youngest calls us out when the time changes again in the summer. He's like, but the sun's still up. I'm like, the sun hasn't gone to bed yet. He goes, well, if the sun doesn't go to bed, I don't go to bed.
The sun's up for like 28 hours a day. It's ridiculous during the summer.
Let's not move to Alaska because he'll never understand the 24 days of sun.
Okay.
And then the 24 days of night.
Yeah.
Or is it 28 days? Is it 28 or 24?
I have no idea.
I don't really love there. So, yeah. For a week, I've been battling waking up at 2 a.m. and staying awake for 2 hours. Because that's what my body does. Is like, you're going to be awake for 2 hours. Yeah. So, instead of waking up or falling asleep at 5 when it's time to get up and go run, now I fall asleep at about 4, sleep for about an hour, and then go run at 5. So maybe it's working in my, I don't know. But
can I make a suggestion?
But then the youngest gets in the bed, and he is like a sloth with Tourette's. I've been punched in the face 6 times in the matter of 2 nights.
What if I told you it was me punching you in the face? Let's do it real quick while he's in there. Can I make a suggestion?
I go sleep on the couch?
No.
I got a suggestion. You go sleep with him tonight, and I get to bed and let me sleep.
Listen, I have a suggestion, because you've been waking up like from, what you said, like 2 to 4, and then you're getting up and working out and stuff. If you want, maybe you could start like some breakfast or something. Like if you wanted to like do some bacon, maybe get some pancakes going or something, just kind of for the team, and then just enough for everybody, so that when we wake up, We've got a hot, nice breakfast. Scramble some eggs, put a little cheese in there, maybe some grits. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe make some coffee, or dealer's choice. You can make whatever you want. I'm not picky. Just breakfast food. So like if I get up at like 5:30, there's like a little platter, and I can just kind of eat and then get my day started.
It's only 8:30. Do you think Tool for Time is still open?
I don't know. Why?
I think they have a wood chipper I can borrow.
What are you going to do with the wood chipper?
What do you think I'm going to fucking do with it?
You can't make breakfast with a wood chipper.
Shut you the fuck up with a wood chipper.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up, dude. We got to go watch the Zodiac thing. We'll report back next week on if this guy did it or not. How about that?
And if Alabama beats LSU tomorrow night.
Roll Tide. All right. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. You good?
I'm so tired.
I love you so much. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You love it.
You're such a